If a large cargo ship wants to travel from the western coast of India to the eastern coast, it cannot take a direct route. The vessel is forced to sail entirely around the island mass of Sri Lanka, braving open ocean swells the entire way. This map of the Palk Strait illustrates exactly why that detour exists. The narrow strip of water separating India and Sri Lanka is exceptionally shallow. Across a massive stretch of the strait, the water is just 1 to 3 meters deep, completely unnavigable for ocean-going vessels. In 2005, the Indian government approved a definitive engineering solution, the Sethusamudram Shipping Canal Project, a multi-million-dollar plan to dredge a deep-water channel directly through the shallow ocean floor. The economic math was highly appealing. Dredging a direct path would slice over 400 kilometers and nearly 30 hours of travel time off the standard shipping route. But the dredging operations barely got underway before they collided with massive national protests. Political parties mobilized, and the dispute immediately escalated into intense litigation at the Supreme Court of India. A modern industrial megaproject, backed by massive funding and heavy machinery, was brought to a complete standstill by the specific patch of ocean floor they were trying to dig up, a 48-kilometer chain of limestone shoals, known as Adam's Bridge. To understand the protests, you have to look at how ancient texts mapped mythology directly onto the specific geography. The ancient Sanskrit epic, the Ramayana, centers around a famous geographical crossing. The epic details how the god Rama, aided by an army of forest-dwelling Nanaras, constructed a massive bridge of rocks over the sea. They built this crossing to reach the island of Lanka and rescue Rama's wife, Sita. Over centuries of popular belief, the mythical island of Lanka became firmly equated with present-day Sri Lanka. Consequently, the physical chain of shoals in the Palk Strait became identified as Rama Setu, Rama's Bridge. A parallel Islamic tradition also laid claim to the shoals, identifying the bridge as the physical path the biblical Adam took into peninsular India following his expulsion from the Garden of Eden. Thousands of years of human storytelling applied a layer of deep reverence to a simple navigational hazard. The limestone shoals had become a fiercely guarded, sacred artifact. Long before the Canal Project of 2005, the British Empire surveyed this exact region, stripping away the myth and viewing the shoals purely as a commercial obstacle. In 1823, a British engineer named Sir Arthur Cotton was assigned to blast and remove rock from the channel, attempting to force a navigable passage through the limestone. The shoals easily defeated these early efforts. The bridge consists of hard-surface sandstone ledges that dissolve into coarse, shifting sandbanks immediately underneath, making stable excavation extremely difficult. The chaotic, unpredictable geology of Adam's Bridge successfully repelled industrial conquest a full century before modern politicians attempted to dredge it. When the modern legal battles erupted, opponents of the canal explicitly claimed the bridge was a man-made structure. This forced the courts to demand empirical geological data to settle the origin of the shoals. This timeline maps the region during the last glacial period, 115,000 years ago. Sea levels reached 120 meters below their present values, exposing the entirety of the Palk Strait as a solid, dry land bridge connecting India and Sri Lanka. Fast forward to the Holocene epoch, 7,000 years ago, and rising oceans completely submerged that landmass under deep water. Over the last 5,000 years, local sea levels fell again. The highest elevations emerged from the water, resulting in the current formation of 103 distinct parallel patch reefs. The scientific consensus is unanimous. Comprehensive field studies confirm Adam's Bridge is a totally natural geological evolution, devoid of any human engineering. Fundamentalist groups completely rejected the geological consensus. They began circulating NASA satellite photos online, claiming the space agency had photographed empirical proof of Rama's engineering. Both NASA and the Archaeological Survey of India issued explicit rebuttals. They stated clearly that orbital photography provides zero evidence of human construction, and that the shoals are entirely natural. Despite the clarity of the science, the Sethusamudram Shipping Canal Project remains paralyzed. A volatile mix of religious outrage and shifting political alliances forced the government to abandon the channel alignment. Indian geologists point to the controversy as a textbook example of the post-truth era, where factual realities are routinely overwhelmed by deliberate appeals to emotion. Adams Bridge remains untouched, proving that what a society chooses to believe about a landscape can ultimately overpower its physical scientific reality.